I should see what Nev has to say.
The Shadow Dragons have a hideout in Docktown. We should check in, see if there's news on the Venatori.
Already?
They work fast, and with that relic case off their hands, they'll work even faster. Meet you in Docktown.
Rook, Ilario sent word. He's got intel on Zara. He wants to meet up. Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Sounds like fun.
Come on, Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while. The markets are running. Good. I need to get some things while we're here. Treviso. I barely had time to look around when we returned from the ossuary.
This place, does it feel very different?
In some ways, more than I expected. But then, perhaps it's me. Ah, here.
A potted plant?
For Harding's garden. Spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
So, you and Ilario are cousins?
Yes, but we're more like brothers. Katarina took us both in, a long time ago now. Here's the place. Bellara mentioned the dayless seafood recipe she wants to make.
The demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team?
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
When we met, it didn't seem like Ilario and Katarina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me, and I was her favorite. A good selection. Fresh fruit. Nev only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble.
Welcome.
All of the crystals sing to me, not just delirium.
I have something just for you.
I've got wares from all over the world, if you'd like to take a look.
Let me know if you'd like to see anything close up.
I love how different cultures make things in unique ways.
What? Uh-huh.
Some of the finest jewelists in Treviso wear my leathers. Oh, you have a keen eye.
We've got foods and herbs to help your body find the perfect balance. If your stomach bothers you, a little ginger will set you right.
Cafe Pietra is just ahead.
That's where we're meeting your cousin? Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
You can't buy something for everyone but yourself. Here, this is for you.
A wyvern-toothed dagger? I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though.
Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please. You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here, Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
You just described my dream cup of coffee. So, is there a reason we're not talking about Ilario's information, or what?
We're still being spied on.
No, the last one just left. Couldn't take your coffee talk.
So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Varantium.
I have a friend who's very good at finding people.
Katerina was first Talon. This is crow business. We can handle it.
Apparently not. Your lead is no good, cousin.
You have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here, in Antiva.
Zara would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would. If the crows protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him, would you? He's being paranoid.
I am not paranoid. She came after me. She came after Katerina. She will come for you too.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll clean house, all right? Leave it to me.
He's gone.
Of course he is. Ilario always caves under pressure.
Your cousin only seems to hear about one word in 10.
He's always been this way. He hears what he wants to hear.
So, are you glad to be back in Antiva?
It doesn't feel real yet. And it wasn't this fool of Anton when I left.
I can imagine it's a shock.
They say taste and smell awaken our strongest memories. For so long, memories were all I had. But whatever the circumstances, the here and now is a much finer place to be. How's your coffee?
Strong enough to take down a god. Ready to head back to the lighthouse?
Almost.
Fewer people than I expected. Let's find Asher.
Asher?
The Viper. He prefers to be called Asher in private. Said I could tell you.
Trouble in the Anvalanim. Darkspawn.
But those tunnels are safe passage for...
I know. We've had to close that entrance.
We can help. We've recently had to deal with Blight. Those Darkspawn have to be destroyed before they get out into the city.
If you get through, signal the all clear at the hidden door.
Raining again.
I once heard that's because all the magic that keeps the Archon's palace floating messes with the clouds.
Typical, huh?
This is troubling. Darkspawn in the city.
And in one of the worst places. The Shadows rely on those tunnels to rescue people.
But why is it called that? On Valanim, it's the ancient elven word for womb.
Huh. Interesting.
Talk to Lorelei. She's the boss.
Come back soon. We'll have more.
I'm Hector. I watch the front. Make sure things are quiet.
Rook.
Good to meet you. Be careful out there.
Sorry, do I know you?
The Anvalanim should have an entrance this way. The passage is hidden by a wall carving. Keep an eye out. Venatori. Why are they so close to the shop? Well, look at that.
There. Is that the wall carving you mentioned?
That's the one. There's a switch behind the serpent's head on the left.
Got it.
It's so dark and narrow and kind of damp.
Don't like the sound of that. Can't get through here. But we've got to clear the obstacles somehow. That did it. We can get through now.
I hate tunnels. Let's kill those Shadow Dragon rats so I can leave this place. Shadow Dragon agents, they're down here with us. Get them. Let them run for reinforcements.
Quickly! Reinforcements! We can't let them reach the Shadow Dragon hideout. Even more Venatori? We have to take out the leaders.
the Darkspawn is coming.
Good work, everyone!
About to have a problem. That's enough. Look for another blight boil.
Death is our punishment! Well, this cannot be!
That's one for Rook.
Got them!
We actually won!
Got us from a distance.
Finish them off!
Those Darkspawn and Venatori were on the same side.
I know, and that worries me. At least that seems to be the last of them.
It should be safe for the Shadows to use the entrance again.
Let's find it and tell them to open up.
There it is, the hidden entrance back into the shop.
It's Rook. All clear down here.
Nice work. I'll get the door. Good that you're still standing. Best let Asher know.
How did the Venatori find the Shadow Dragon's hideout? Isn't it a secret?
We help the people in Docktown. They know where we are. Someone might have talked about the shop. People spreading rumors, that's easy to handle. But Darkspawn, that's different.
You really saved our skins there, Rook. Those Darkspawn could have destroyed us.
It wasn't just Darkspawn. Venatori were there too, and they weren't fighting each other.
How is that possible? Darkspawn attack all living things.
Darkspawn are blighted. If the gods control the blight, they might control the Darkspawn.
Darkspawn or Venatori? Makes no difference. We'll defeat them all.
If you're looking for answers about the Venatori, I may have a lead. A warehouse on the other side of the city. Lots of cult activity. And some of them were spotted headed towards a shop. Could be a coincidence, or it could be something more.
It's worth a look.
Agreed. Rook?
Let's go.
One day you'll move.
The Viper, or Asher, I suppose. Is he the leader of the Shadow Dragons?
One of them. He made his name freeing slaves and supporting their rebellions. He won't stop until slavery ends in Tevinter.
So the Viper's real name is Asher?
A middle name. He calls himself Viper for first impressions, or so he says.
What do you mean?
Asher just doesn't have the same impact, does it?
Venatori, we have to be getting close to their hideout. More Venatori. They're probably here to keep intruders out.
Locked. There has to be another way in.
Eyes open.
Let's keep moving before more of them come crawling out. Lots of Venatori. We must be close. That's all the Venatori guard. Right. Here's our way in.
For sure. Sounds like someone doing magic. Not the good kind either. Chanting's never good.
Darkspawn.
How?
We stop them, then we figure it out. They... Using magic to control that Darkspawn. We have to stop it.
This is why you don't mess with Darkspawn.
We're under fire.
On your left.
Move now.
Ready for a follow-up.
Darkspawn and Venatori. Let's search the place and figure out what they were doing. This explains the Darkspawn we keep finding in the catacombs.
At least they don't know where the Shadow Dragons are. Exactly.
This note. Knight Commander Lenos of the Minratha's Templars is being paid off by Venatori.
Damn it.
Look at this. Draining into the tunnels below the city, perhaps?
One more way the Venatori released blight into our tunnels. I'll tell the other shadows.
gods gave the Venatori a relic they can use to control Darkspawn.
Did you find anything in there?
The Risen Gods taught the Venatori how to control Darkspawn. Explains why the hideout was attacked.
We found documents from the Knight Commander. I knew he was crooked. I didn't think he was actually a Venatori.
Let's head back to the shop. We'll discuss things there.
We managed to catch the stragglers fleeing the warehouse.
They'll think twice before coming back here. What else did you find?
The Venatori serve Elgranon and Gillenane like we thought. They gave the cult control over Darkspawn.
Great. Sounds like the Venatori are going to be even more trouble.
Is there something I can do? The Risen Gods are my responsibility too.
How do we know we can even trust you? You're not from here. You don't know Minrathous like we do. And we know as little about you as we do these Risen Gods you unleashed.
Now, what is it they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The cult has its hooks deep in the city. Venatori backers sit in the Magisterium chambers, and now they wield power given to them by the gods. We'll have to get along if there's any chance of surviving this.
May, what are you doing here? You promised you'd lay low.
Tried it, didn't much care for it.
I'm hoping you're here to help, because we need it.
Rook's been working with us. Mevaris is one of the Shadow Dragon leaders.
Mevaris Talani, formerly Magister Mevaris Talani, at your service.
Wait, formerly?
My enemies conspired to have my magisterium seat stripped from me. We can talk about it later, if you want. My concerns feel petty when stacked against risen gods. The Shadow Dragons have a lot to discuss, but you, Rook, are expected at the Swan.
Me? The Cobbled Swan? Why?
The First Warden is here to speak with you.
The First Warden? Let's hope we actually get some help with the Blight.
Come back when you can. I think we'll need your help again.
How do the Venatori keep the Blight from infecting their own? Has Algernon given them some sort of protection?
I met a Shadow Dragon once. Or, I think I did. I mean, they didn't say they were probably a good idea, but I was pretty sure.
Why is that?
Most Tevinter are condescending, even the nice ones, but they weren't. And you remind me of them. So, it makes sense.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Did the Magisterium explain why the Archon's palace rained fire on the city?
Wasn't it a mistake? You know how finicky those magical defense systems can be.
It's just so sad. So many people were hurt.
I'm sure they're fine.
I am Jowen Glastrom, First Warden and Supreme Commander of Weishaupt. I received word of your team's request for Grey Warden assistance after an incursion of the Blight at Demeter's Crossing. Treasure hunters are common as flies, but I've never met one ostracized for killing a Raveni noble. Your Lords of Fortune leaders apparently didn't appreciate the subsequent political attention.
Right. I should have considered the political nightmare before all else. Just let the man unleash an ancient evil and kill my crew.
Fine. I've little time to waste on the unruly antics of treasure hunters. Tell me how you unleashed the Blight.
I think unleashed is a little strong. It was an unfortunate side effect.
The Blight was a side effect?
Yes, of stopping the Dreadwolf, elven god of lies, from destroying the Veil. We did stop him, by the way. You're welcome.
I did not come here to listen to fairy tales. I am here because of the Blight.
We haven't even gotten to the real fairy tale parts yet. When we stopped Solas, 2 elven gods escaped from where he'd imprisoned them. Elgranon and Gillenhain. And they're not just evil, they're blighted. The point is that the gods are making the Blight worse. Demeter's Crossing was just the start. That's why we need the Grey Wardens.
It is clear that whatever you did to unleash the Blight has corrupted your already weak mind.
Okay, wait.
You will be taken to Weishaupt and placed under heavy guard until the danger you caused by unleashing the Blight passes.
Are you kidding me?
I assure you, I am deadly serious.
I don't have time to sit here and stroke your ego. You need to shut up and listen. The threat is real. The gods are coming, and they're bringing the Blight with them.
Let me tell you something about the Blight. It is evil, it is implacable, and above all, it is predictable. The Blight has not changed in over 1,000 years. The Grey Wardens will defeat it, as they always do. And we will do so without you causing confusion with your deranged conspiracy theories. I suggest you come along quietly.
Adamant Fortress 941, Dragon. The Grey Wardens attempted to raise an army of demons. Hardly the models of good judgment yourselves, are you?
Everyone knows Warden Commander Clarel acted alone at Adamant Fortress.
Acted alone, you say? Imagine if everyone were to see the letter I discovered where you authorize her actions. I wonder how that might complicate the narrative.
Are you prepared to risk the security of the Grey Wardens for this deluded boy?
You may be surprised to learn that I care very little about the security of the Grey Wardens.
Stay away from the Blight, and do not pester the Grey Wardens with any more of your nonsense.
He seems upset. Was it something I said?
You have blackmail material on the leader of the Grey Wardens just lying around?
Of course not. Where would I obtain something like that?
Oh, you were bluffing. That's actually scarier.
Magister Dorian Parvis, at your service. A mutual friend thought you might require some support.
Maevaris Talani? Of the Shadow Dragons?
The very same.
What's your relation to the Shadow Dragons?
About a decade ago, Maevaris and I started a political faction called the Lucerni. We were going to change Tevinter for the better. Everyone would recognize the common sense benefits of our approach, and we'd all live happily ever after.
I take it that didn't happen?
Maevaris was framed, kicked out of the Magisterium, and the Lucerni were dissolved. So she took the movement underground.
The Shadow Dragons.
Since I still haunt the Magisterium, that makes me the Shadow Dragon's man on the inside.
I think we made an enemy of the First Warden today. Well, more you than me. He just thinks I'm a dangerous idiot.
Ha! Enemy? I've ignored greater men. No Grey Warden worth the name sits in a Menrathus lounge sipping wine. You need the Wardens? Look for the ones out there fighting the Blight. In the meantime, the Shadow Dragons will keep a close watch on the Venatori. Good luck. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon.
Only the Veil stood between us and a world of blighted darkness. But on this side, the gods could only tap a trickle. They had to turn that trickle into a flood. They sure could have used Solas's dagger to rip open the Fade. But some foolish mortal had taken it. So, they'd have to create a dagger of their own. Drowning the world in blight was just a matter of time.
I need... to talk to Varrick.
That veil bubble.
Watch for Venatori. They're everywhere.
Well, anyway, that veil bubble we found you in. How often do those happen in Arlathan?
Sometimes, often, never. Depends on the day, and they're unpredictable. And with Elgranon and Gillenane loose, who knows what might get twisted up.
Well, isn't that a treat?
Inherent instability and survival uncertainty aside, they really are fascinating.
I'll take your word for it. There's something on your mind.
It's just Demetta's Crossing. I can't stop thinking about it. Those people. What if it happens again? What if it's happening all over right now and we just don't know about it?
Something happens somewhere remote. It could take a while for word to get out.
Nev?
What? If we pretend it's not possible, we might miss something.
I just want to help, but this... it's all so big.
The spirits are returning.
They should be safe now, with the defenders on alert.
Strife said we should monitor the situation in the crossroads, so of course I volunteered. I mean, what kind of veil jumper would say no? I only wish I'd been able to bring my Fade tuner, get some readings. I suppose you're right. We all need to make sacrifices.
There you are. I haven't seen much of you lately. I was getting worried. Everything all right? Wait. That dagger. I've seen it before.
Solas was using it at the ritual site.
No, before that. Shit. It can't be. Look at it, Rook.
I have. Plenty. ever since it hurt Harding.
That blighted chunk of lyrium is what started all this, in more ways than one. If I hadn't found it in the deep roads... You remember the story. One carved idol of red lyrium made its way to the surface and all hell broke loose.
It can't be the same one, can it?
Oh, look at it. It's changed, but it's the same size. Same ring at the top. Not to mention, it's pure lyrium. No one, not even the dwarves in Orzammar, work pure lyrium like that. It's too dangerous.
If that's true, if this dagger is the red lyrium idol from your story, how did Solas cleanse it of the blight?
I have no idea. I can't believe you found it.
Oh, hey, Rook. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
You seem a little more comfortable with your new abilities. How are you feeling?
Things are weird, but I'm adjusting, I think. That's not what I came in here for, though.
All right, Harding. What's on your mind?
So, the Wardens. I know some. A married couple Varrick and I met while we were tracking Solas.
I'd almost forgot about that. I really am getting too old for this shit.
You think they'll talk to us? After the first warden and everything?
It's worth a try. I can write them and hope.
Okay. Let's see who's in our corner.
Normally, my advice on befriending abominations would be don't. In this case, just keep an eye on him.
You've been quiet.
I know. Just thinking. But I said we'd talk, didn't I? I heard a voice after we saved that man. It told me I was touched by the Ancients and that I should seek it out. Seek her out.
Do you think this voice has answers about your magic?
She must. What if she's like me? Maybe that's why only I heard her. She said to look to those closest to the stone to locate her.
Meaning?
The children of the stone. Dwarves. Not surfacers like me, but the ones from the deep roads. Maybe there are other people down there with magic.
Or you could be the only dwarf in the world with magic, which must feel nice.
A little, but I don't know everything about it yet, and I probably should. I know some people in Orzammar. I'll reach out. If I hear anything, you'll be the first to know.
This was with my things. It looks like your handwriting. I didn't read it. Well, a couple of words. I thought it might be one of mine. I don't even know how it got there.
It's those wisps. I need more wards.
Oh, I can help with that.
I started this. I'll deal with it.
Solas lived here. The Dread Wolf. It was gonna have quirks.
Solas is the worst tenant I followed, and that's saying something.
Maybe they like you.
Do you follow the chantry? The pendant. I noticed it's Andrastian.
I barely keep the holidays. It's from an old job.
Oh, which one? Maybe I read about it in a Timidger paper.
I'm barely in the papers.
Oh, but when you are, it's on the edge of something exciting. What about that one story with the demon, the diamond, and the deadbeat magister? Oh, they mentioned you twice.
That was a hit piece.
Uh-huh, great. What happened with the diamond?
Long story.
Ah, what's the short version?
You take a dip off the dock for a rock, make sure the mage can't freeze you in. You know, that job would have gone smoother, but the client ratted me out, the demon.
What?
It's always something. Funny how that didn't make the print. Tell me you read the rest of the paper too?
Oh, yes. Sometimes they have these stories, serials. They're thrilling, except they come out in pieces. I only see a few papers a year. I never know how the stories end.
Happily ever after. Why not, right?
Aren't you some sunshine?
That's me.
I hope you're right.
All right, Belle. You get me the name of your cereal, I'll try and track the ending. No promise on the happy part.
That's fine.
I'd like to go back anyway. Spend time in Docktown, pick up gossip.
Want company?
Why not? Ready to go when you are.
Rook, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
She wants to plan Katerina's funeral.
Oh, right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spite gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Thea waiting.
Jakobs. How is he?
It is good Rook found Dareth's contract. Eyre says Jacobus is comforted to know his cousin's death was not in vain.
Work might help focus him, but until he can control that temper, I cannot approve Jacobus as a full-fledged crow.
I feel as you do.
Rook?
Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Katerina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
You're such a dear. I hope these two are paying attention.
Thea, don't flirt with my colleague.
Jealous? Fine. To business, then. There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Make it help us. Yes, the ashes. Katerina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Katerina, how? How did the Venatori get to her? When? Where? In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
I'm not dwelling. Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you, I'm handling it.
Boys, enough of this. We have other things to discuss.
My apologies, Andrea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
How are you holding up?
I'll be fine. Better once we kill Zara Renata. It's him I'm worried about.
Hilario can be a handful, but this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next. And my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come. I'll get us some drinks and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Caterina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Hilario, as usual.
I barely know your cousin, and he already seems like trouble to me.
Oh, he is. I've lost count of the times I've had to pull him out of the fire on the job.
He's a good assassin. Most jobs don't have as many fires as yours do. I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Thea.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
Are we here for the Shadow Dragons?
I trade news with the Shadows, but it takes more than one source to get along here. Besides, I was doing this before they came knocking, before Varrick, too, right here in Docktown.
Take it away. I'm ready for the full tour.
We've been here before.
Ah, the tour where I get to look around and not chase cultists or fight demons.
Wouldn't that be something? Come on. There's paper sellers all over here.
Want to see if they got your name right?
Most papers don't say much, but read between the lines and you pick up a thing or two. I'm not here as much lately. I'll take what news I can get. Let's grab a few copies. We'll see if we can find Balara's cereals, too. All right, let's go.
So, before Varrick, before the Shadows, you worked for...
Same as now. People who find me and have jobs worth taking. Docktown people, runaways, the desperate.
And you do this on your own?
I've got contacts, informants, people I cross paths with, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's just me. Okay, keep an eye out for paper sellers. We'll start on the north side of Lower City.
How many do we need?
Don't worry, I'm paying. Let's get started.
The best... We're in Docktown, right here.
We'll take a paper. Thanks.
This one quotes several magisters, several lies.
How'd you fall in with the Shadows?
I'd worked with some of them before. Not that they were upfront about it.
What changed?
I was after a missing person. The Viper was hunting slavers. Our paths had the same end.
And your missing person?
Free and breathing when we finished. The shadows brought me in after that.
The Viper! More than one person. You'll read it here first.
One, please.
I'll save this one for the
spotted
Viper.
A local fish fry.
So most of the time you work here alone. You like it that way?
It's easier.
But you like us, right?
You're all right.
Another rebellion? Here's what we know.
One paper. Thanks.
I've got a contact who works this area. Let's see if he's around.
You've got a good eye. I'm starting to think my good neighbours lack taste. Go on, take a closer look. Okay. The charm's good against all manner of curses and manipulation. Fair price. And you won't find better in the Circle District.
You won't find better at the Circle, but you will off the docks. For half the price and twice the enchantment.
Nev.
Alec?
Oh, if you say it's... thanks, I'll pass. Sorry.
Hey, if I'd known, I would have told you. Come back next week. I'll buy another paper.
I write them myself. The Magisters. They don't print the truth.
Most honest thing I'll hear today. What about you? Is there something you're buying, my friend?
Rook, and no. But I've got a Treviso Manor in need of tenants if you're willing to pay up front.
You know, I've made that one work. Can't go back to Voldorma, though. What about you, Nev?
Just looking for gossip.
Not much that'd interest you.
We chased a relic through Docktown. The buyer was Venatori, but the smuggler belonged to the Thread Crime Syndicate. You're a Thread?
We don't deal with cultists. Your smuggler broke the rules. She's out.
And the Venatori?
There's been more in Docktown. Boss says it's under control. But between us, I don't like it.
Then it's worth keeping an eye on. If you hear anything.
So will you.
You know a member of the Thread Crime Syndicate, personally.
Don't tell me you're surprised.
That doesn't get, complicated?
What isn't?
I've heard some people have their shit together.
They don't. Some just keep it hidden. And others make the papers. Let's go. If we want more gossip, we need more papers. Let's head to the south side.
You've lived in Docktown your whole life.
Since I was born. Unless I'm out of the city for a job. Had a few apartments around town. The current one, it's not the lighthouse, but it's mine.
You've been an investigator for a while.
It's not a short story.
You've made it this far. Is there a secret?
Trust people enough to get things done, not enough to get you killed.
Sounds simple enough.
That's the trick, isn't it?
Best cereal in Minrathous. The latest chapter is here.
We'll take one.
Circle District
One of Belle's
Gossip.
cereals.
Read the latest.
Great. You know, Varrick hired me not far from here. Come on, Slick. Stop a ritual. Save the world. It'll be fun. I should have said no.
Scandal and enchantment! Read it here first!
Paper. Thanks.
I think we've got enough.
The real news
What
in
now?
Ducktown.
Now
Get it
I'm
here.
starving, and I know the best place in the city.
You all right?
Huh? Yeah. I'm good. Catch a show at the Cobbled Swan later? After work, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be here.
The lighthouse doesn't have this.
What?
A view of the water. I don't know, it helps me think. But we've got places to be. Come on.
You! This fish won't eat itself. I said next time you were here it was free.
Sure thing, Hal. Next time.
Yeah, it's always something.
Joining Varrick. Us. Do you really wish you'd said no?
No. I just have a bad habit of picking jobs that go sideways. You think I'd learn?
I'm the same way, taking jobs that go wrong. I'm basically a walking disaster.
So you're saying I'm a disaster?
I'm saying you're not alone.
Varrick said this job would end with Solas. We'd stop a ritual, then I'd walk away. But those gods escaped. Not much of a win. And if the world falls, the city goes too. It's not like I'll find work then.
Is that why you said yes? To save Minrathous?
People will tell you Minrathous is broken. And they're right. It's corrupt, petty. Saving the world won't fix it. I take the small wins, Rook. Hal's serving fish another day, getting past the next scrape alive. Sometimes you're lucky. Sometimes you get more. But the tables always turn. It's better if you know it's coming.
We, got in over our heads, didn't we?
Same old story.
The gods weren't a twist?
I've seen worse.
Then I'm glad you stuck around.
Misery loves company.